Yo, hold that down. My two said to look for start.
Boom! We're back again, guys. We're back again. Welcome to the podcast, guys. One of the best podcasts in the world. You already know. Today, we have a special guest in the building today. Miss Keira Williams. We have Miss Keira Williams here, the host with today. Miss Keira Williams. I think me and Miss Keira, we went to school together, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, we did.
EJC, yeah, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember all that. Hey, I got bad memory, Miss Keira. I got bad memory, you know? That's all I want to jump there to sometimes, but hey, I'll come with it. But yes, guys, we have Miss Keira in the building today. I'll have Miss Keira introduce herself, and then I'll tell you guys what we will be doing today. So, go ahead, Miss Keira.
Hi, everybody. My name is Keira Williams, married Williams, but knee banner. I have 3 beautiful children, and I don't have much to say about myself because I stick to myself. I don't really,
All right.
as you would know, because when
Yeah.
you're fooling me, you never really, I never really mingle with nobody. That just
Real. Even if I walk up,
life.
even if I walk up here, you work, Miss Keira, don't want to give me no work, but we don't want to talk about it. We don't have that. We are having fun on the show tonight. We are having fun on the show tonight. But tonight, we have a serious topic here. We want to bring awareness to the people in Belize. We want to bring awareness to the people in Danriga. We want to build awareness to the people in the world. Because maybe a lot of us go through stuff and, it's hard to come out and make everybody know we're really going to build our awareness there. So other people can go through it. So that's what we're here to do tonight. All right. So we'll discuss about domestic violence, mental health issues, and all stuff in our sort there, because Miss Keira is an advocate of that. She also went through something like that too. I went through something like that to myself. So we're just a chat and a talk, and then we'll give the people a glimpse of what happened, for we experience, and so they could be aware. If you have kids, parents, talk to the kids. Ensure that you guys talk to them a lot, because then check up on it. Even if they have for a certain amount of time, check up on it, because you never know what somebody go through. So we'll start with the first question, Miss Keira. We just start like this. Can you share like your stories and experience the domestic violence, if you're comfortable with that? Just share a little glimpse. We're not there to call no names. Sorry guys, we can't call anybody name on their thing there. But we just share the experience so you guys are aware of some stuff that happened in the community. So you could go ahead, Miss Keira.
I have over 20 years to share, so I don't know how we share all of that in our league fan class. Well, I was pretty young when I met my husband, right? I met him at the age of 16.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty young. Yeah, so I have not, experienced life before, but I believe that all of this happened because I had daddy issues.
Okay.
My father died at a very tender age, and we raised up with a stepfather, and though my stepfather provided for us and make sure that we had food on the table and make sure we had a roof over our head, that connection was not there. I never did feel that love, because he would never come and hug us or tell us to love we and things like that. So as I grew older, I started to miss my dad. Like, I wanted that fatherly love, and I never did get that from my stepfather. So in my teenage years, I started to look for love in all the wrong places.
Yeah. As much away. I same thing over here. Probably different experience in the beginning, but we look for love in different places, because then I understand that part. But I'll let you continue. Sorry for cut you off, but I just want to put that out there for everybody. Most of we go through the same thing there. Go through Miss Keira.
Yeah. So well, after I hit high school, I wasn't interested in the high school boys, Not that they
Mm-hmm.
weren't interested in me, but I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
interested in the high school boys. Like I, was looking for a father figure. I always wanted somebody older than me. I met my husband. We went to our school, as a police officer, and he gave I think it was a speech or something, and that's where it started. At first, everything was okay, like everything was bright, beautiful, as with any
Mm-hmm.
relationship,
Yeah.
not kind of ordinary, no red flags, no nothing. And then when I graduated Port Farm, this man, make I feel comfortable, like, all
Mm-hmm.
right, I will wait for you until you're ready, you want this and stuff. And I said, all right, this man is here. I had my first child after
Mm-hmm.
4 years of dating. And
Yes,
then
ma'am.
2 years after I had a second child with him, I raised up in a very family-oriented household whereby, it's the mother, that the one who will take care of the household and everything. So I felt that that was my duty to do everything, wash, cook, everything. And then I moved out of my mom's house and I lived for my own, and I started to do everything as a housewife should. And I
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed that. I'm in love with it. And then I think after my oldest child turned 3, that's when it all started to unfold. Because I dated him 4 years, and then I
Mm-hmm.
had my first child, and then she was 3, and then everything unfolded.
Full. Okay.
So
Okay.
imagine that 4, 5, 6, 7 years.
7 years.
7
Yeah.
years it takes to make he show his true colors. And
Man.
after that 7 year, I still didn't believe it, because I said, okay, this is a good man. I still did not believe that this actually happened. And I mean, it's sad because it's staying there and think that things will change.
Yeah.
It only gets worse.
And I guess that for a lot of people too, we stay in our relationships, because then we expect, or we see the potential in our partners, and then we believe, we're there for a long time. So we think that, all right, well, we'll make that slide, and, hopefully everything get better, I'm glad you're doing, much better right now, that I could see, at least, Uh-huh.
I never did once shared my story because of shame, and then I created a facade that we had a great man. This is our great provider. He makes sure that we have everything in the house. And so I created that facade to make everybody feel like everything was okay.
Okay.
Even my mom, and my friends, even my best friends, until long afterwards, and they started to see what was really going on. I painted that narrative because I wanted everybody to see that I have a good family. Never
As
nothing like that.
as most of us do the same thing as well, like you said. Usually when things like that happen in our community, at least they pop up in with us and our partner, it kind of difficult to go to different people, I can understand that, because then you already painted a picture, you already have everybody feel like, it's something good, and then, like we said, sometimes you feel embarrassed or so, your partner put you in a positions where they embarrass you out of road and so on. So, you don't want to tell people that kind of thing there, and you don't want nobody look for the man in any type of different way either, because then that's your partner. You know what I mean? Especially your family members, because once, we have that thing, we culture where we say like, or even in our culture, I hear it around a lot. Once you go through something, you're not supposed to tell your family or so, because you don't want your family judge people, because then you will forgive them, but your family not forgive them. But I believe that sometimes it get very overwhelming, where I think you need to let somebody know, because then, with or without that family member there, you still choose what you want there. You know what I mean? It's most of the time, but we have that thing in our culture whereby we hold a thing and it becomes secretive, you know what I mean? So I just want to put that out to everybody, the leagues or, in the world. You're not alone, Talk to different people, express yourself to your family members. Your family members, they'll be your family members forever. They will got your back.
And Jerry, something I feel like the reason why we're going to share things with our family members is because later on, we're going to
Yeah,
sleeping at the same bed, and then you
yeah,
family member, they dislike this person or who get grudge against this person, and then later on, don't sweet up 2 weeks later, don't sweet up back, and then
yeah,
your mother used to say, your brother, everybody they hold grudge for this man, then everybody start isolate themselves for you. Your
for
family
you,
they
exactly.
start isolate themselves for you because you to tell me what you to go through. Then they try address the situation, and then you still go back into that. Then I'm like, okay, you know what? Not make the man continue beat you. Then when things starts get worse, that then you are trying to reach out back to them again, and then they will left you right there. Why?
Yeah,
They don't try get in it before, and then get sweet back again. And that the same
yeah,
thing happen with other departments,
yeah. That's
where
true.
try help because police try help people with domestic women's apartment and all that, but they're not supposed to turn your back. But if you end up in a domestic violence relationship and let's say you call police and they call arrest this man and everything, later on you say, I don't want no charges, I don't have no charges.
Yeah,
Next time you call, they now want to come or they want
yeah,
long to come. And then we
yeah,
still she 2 weeks ago and she never want press no charges. But then what? What we are doing for fresh charge for the man if with our stay at home
mom, yeah,
so what we are do if we press charges, man go to jail. What will happen to a picnic?
exactly.
That's how some women
Mothers think, yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Makes sense. It makes sense.
They will make that slide and I'm personal charges and I do it again because then here assure you maybe 1 month or 2 down the road you will do it again.
I understand that. Miss Williams, and honestly, I believe that even if you make a report 10 times, I believe the police department or the person who you make a report to, that their job, they're responsible for respond to you, regardless of what. You can make the same report 10, 20 times. I believe they're still supposed to come there, make sure you and your children and whosoever you're with safe, both parties, we separate the both parties and everything. And, even because then sometimes in life, I believe, some people do make mistakes and then sometimes they escalate frustration building. People say where they don't mean, because they're already frustrated. Some people react in a certain different type of way and, sometimes it's normal. But we as Belizean, the police department, we have to normalize it to a sense there. Because then once you make misreport here or once you call for help, they're supposed to be able to help any and every time. That a job that they will get paid for. That they will get paid for monthly. So I believe they're supposed to do that. And we want to make the police department, we want to make the people in Belize aware that, hey, when we call because the taxpayers' money, they pay when we call for help, we need enough to call help we. With the ask with the beg call help out, call help we. Because we know a call upon another. If we don't feel threatened, if we feel our life not threatened, and we know a call and we don't want to disturb neither. But when somebody call at the station, we come down and call sick. And most of the time when somebody call that emergency, so we want to move fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't want to call and then 2-3 hours later that then another show. A lot of things could happen in I could have way across to the next world in 2-3 hours time. You know what I mean? So we want responders they call quick. You could go ahead, mommy.
Yeah. So call police. Miss we not got no mobile. Mobile not there right now. Then already knew the situation. Like everybody in the station already knows the situation. But they choose to let that fall on deaf ears.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that way.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
Exactly.
That's wrong. Definitely that wrong. That wrong, Miss Williams. Man, I have a daughter. You know what I mean? I have a daughter. Talking about your situation, I have a daughter. I wouldn't want my daughter to go through that. I wouldn't want anybody to feel like okay for me, somebody mess with your physical and your mental health like that. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody have to go through my daughter, have to go through abuse or anybody daughter, in the country, the world. You know what I mean? So I believe you make a good point and it start from there. All the all the police officers there, all the first responders there, make we do the right thing, man. Make we do the right thing. Because over your power side, we swear an oath, to do the right thing. We get in the army, the police force, any military force, you swear an oath that you will do the right thing. Regardless of what or regardless of who. So I believe that the same thing need to happen in the yard. We need to do the right thing. You know what I mean?
Right. To shed a little light on what you said about you having a daughter and you don't want your daughter to get in an abusive relationship. And I'll tell you this, I have the notion that, I will stay for my kids. Mine, like I started out just a while ago and I told you, I grew up without a dad. I always wanted to know what a father's love felt like.
Yes,
And
mom.
I stayed because I said, you know what, I don't want my children to grow up without their father.
Yes,
I don't
mom.
want to make them start to look for love in all the wrong places. But me staying in a domestic abuse relationship,
Mhm.
that makes them feel like it's okay. That
Yeah.
normalize it. They're like, okay,
Yes,
this
mom.
happened to mommy. This is normal. They know this is nothing different. So then I'm like, okay, this is normal. And then the next sad part is that we associate love with abuse. That happens a lot. In our culture, you beat up it. The first thing they tell you, I beat you because I love you. You should never associate love with abuse because your picnic will broke the scene like, okay, they have to get beaten to feel that love.
Yes, mom.
And I used to do it too.
Mhm.
I'm guilty of that. I used to do
Yeah.
it too. And then when I get out of that relationship, I started to realize that I was doing the wrong thing. I was
Thanks. Okay.
associating love with abuse. And then my children, that's all they saw. Mommy and daddy, they quarrel, we always fight. And also it kind of normalized it. We normalized it unknowingly. And when I got out of the relationship, and I started to, started to be myself again and started to be happy, my children then are like, then they think that, the abuse was normal.
For
And
real.
that shocked me. At this time, my children, they were already teenagers, and that shocked me because I did not know the extent of psychological damage I was doing to my own children by
For
staying
real.
in that abusive relationship.
So what would you tell the people of the community, the people of police, people in the world, females as well, about that right there? What they should just pick up and leave, or how would somebody deal with something like that? What would be your advice after going through something like that?
Each woman know when enough is enough, because 100 million women could tell you get out of that relationship because they don't know where you get abused. But you know what left because all right, you don't had enough yet. But
Yeah.
I always know when enough is enough. But I would say to any woman out there when they go through domestic abuse, seek help first. If you may, on a go to couples therapy, counseling. Yes. And if that does not work, you try something else. And if that does not work, then you get out because you know what change. I waited almost 20 years for mine to change. And it did not get any better. It only got worse. Each time, the disrespect happened, the next time it get worse. The next time it get worse. The next time it get worse. Then it reach a point that this man almost choked me to death and tell in front of my daughter, and said he not afraid. At this time, my daughter was 18 years old. My daughter had to pull him off of me. And these are the things you go and tell the police, right? And then nothing still get done.
You cope with it? What did you do? How was your daily routine like? And, knowing, I don't know the situation, but else I give you an example, you're home, knowing like something, your husband man at work, maybe when they come back, you don't know what kind of day he have, you don't know if he have a bad day, if he want to come home and, take it out. You know how the thing goes. So that's an example for me. Not saying that's happening, but how did you cope with it as a wife or, as somebody in that shoe that went through something like that?
To be honest with you, Terry, when I was going through the abuse at first, I didn't even know it was abuse. Because we normalize everything. Everything that is negative, we normalize. I didn't even know it was abuse. And couple of years in this relationship, I started to feel sick. I started to feel tired. Like I could sleep at night and still get up in the morning as if I didn't get any rest, and I would sleep in the day too. I will get up, make sure that I make breakfast for the kids, make sure that I hurry cook, and then go right back in the bed. But it was always a drag to get up out of bed to do these sort of things. And I said to myself after a couple months that, what, this is not normal.
Yeah.
But I go to see why I have no energy. And I started to go to the doctor. And I started to attend the clinic. And the doctor said, they do everything. They check my blood count. My blood was a little bit low, so they elevate that. And they thought that, okay, maybe because of blood low, you feel this tiredness. Yes, and it was not only the tiredness, like I was irritable, and then I would just associate that with being miserable, or that I'm a miserable person. Everything used to irritate me. Like if there is a leaf paper on the floor, I would go after that, So they did blood tests. They treat me for all kind of things, and when they rule out all of those because it wasn't that, then the doctor looked at me and said, because I was going to the doctor like at least 6 months, and she told me, and this was private too, so I had to, to spend money for the
money. Exactly, man.
They get, and I was like, what? At that time, I didn't know what was, what she was talking about. And she recommended me to go and see a therapist. And she wrote out the referral and everything. It took me a whole year before I could have accepted that something was wrong with me mentally. It took me a whole year before I took that referral to the doctor that she recommended me to go and see. And sure enough, when I took that letter, and they did all the evaluations, I was diagnosed with depression. So I was going through all of this, and Eve not even know that I was going through depression. And like I said, it was a drag to get up and do simple things like even brushing my teeth, combing my hair, taking a shower. Those things are really hard to do, and people might look at you and say, well, that crazy. But I will tell you this, depression is real.
Yeah.
Depression is real, and a lot of things we go through in our life, that the way, open that door. Man, it was really hard. I had to take therapy 2 times for the month, and that was $90 a session. The first session is $150, and the last are $90.
$90 for every other one. Yes, that kind of, that rough, Miss Williams. That's rough. And you see, guys, what I got from Miss Williams, what Miss Williams just said, we need to change how people think, I believe, especially us as men. You know what I mean? Because even with that, you hurt somebody, you've cost it financially, you'd hurt them emotionally, you'd do a lot. You know what I mean? And, working in Belize, it's very difficult for make a lot of money. Everybody money already scheduled out for something. So if you would take the 90, the 100, the 150 there because of something we could have maybe, I would say, when it have to happen, it take out of your kids the, finance, because then you're a mother and you have children, your children need stuff too. Maybe you come and get what extra gift or what extra uniform or something for your kids. So we need to build awareness of that, people in Belize, we need to be more cautious of how we treat our women, because you never know. And one other question I have, I don't know how if, like, let someone and your friend come over or something like that, would they see it on you? Would they know? Like, did you ever had people or ever drop signs or anything like that, or was it covered up?
Never, ever, ever. Like,
Never.
you will see me with a very happy face. I was always jovial when I go out in the public, and if my friends or family would come over, it would have been the same energy. But as soon as they left, like, I would go right back into bed, into isolation. Nobody would ever know that I was going through all this, because everybody see me and everybody always see a smile, but they don't know what's going on behind that smile. It
Exactly.
was tearing me up inside. First, maybe I used to wear it on my face because everybody used to say, "Oh, she look miserable." So when somebody approached me and tell me, "Miss, why you always look miserable?" I started to change how I go out in public and how the public see me. So whenever I go out in public, because remember, I'm creating this facade that everything is okay.
It's wrong.
When I go out in the public, I try to smile, because I don't want anybody to think that nothing is wrong at home.
Yeah.
Came here, give nothing to nobody, not even my mom, nobody, my siblings, nobody. It was only after then they started to figure things out on their own, because you never, how you would have to say, trade to show yourself after that.
Whoa, you get brave.
Yes.
Whoa.
Then they started to put, things together. They started to fill in the pieces, of the jacket, of the puzzle. That okay, she's going through a lot. And I remember one time my friend told me, because I cried to her, because I had to go to her house at night to sleep because I was running away from the abuse. And I cried to her and I told her I don't want to leave because I'm staying for my girls. At the time, I only had 2 girls. And she told me, you're not to stay in that situation because you're picnic. You come out because you're picnic. And at that time, I never understand what she was saying. I said to her, you tell me come out because of my picnic. How I supposed to deal with that, I want to go fitness park. I want to have a father figure. I want to have the love of the past. But at the same time, at what cost to me? It took me years to still get out because I look like a hard-headed.
Oh, man. It's love.
So it took me years to get out, and that still, resonates with me. That you come out to your children, stay because of your children. You come out to them. You don't want me to see that and make me feel like that is okay.
Okay.
They feel like it's okay, because you know what? It will be a cycle, and then your children will get into a abusive relationship because they believe, because they don't see it already. This is the only thing they ever say. They don't normalize that abuse is okay.
Yes, mom. So what when your friends and your family, they realize, I think you touched it earlier a little bit, but when they realize, what kind of advice or what was the reaction from them, and was like they may they may open for help or like, because I say this for say, within our culture or our mentality, I believe, right? Sometimes our parents, because we know do what they say, or we don't get the understanding of whether they tell you or whether they try to tell you, they tend to want to wash their hands off with, or they tend to want, all right, good. You know what? Listen, go handle the world by yourself. You know what I mean? That some of the mentality there, some of the parents, not to bash any parents, big up all the parents out there, but I'm just saying, we see it a lot in our culture. We see it a lot, I believe. So, how was your family and friends like? What was the acceptance was there, whereby, all right, you don't got your thing. We're sorry it happened to you, but you know what? Open doors there, open shoulders there. You could come and then, how was that like? Or was it like a denial? Like, all right, you have to figure it out yourself. How was it for you?
To be honest, I had the overwhelming support of my mom.
Big up,
Um,
mother.
she was always there to support me. Though she didn't know the full details of what was going on, she knew that something was wrong. And I could talk to her anytime. I wouldn't give her full details, but I would just share, one and two things that I think she should know because I don't want to worry her. But she was always there. She had never turned her back on me, no matter what. Same thing with my siblings. But the only thing with my mom believes in marriage, right? And she used to never advise me to leave. She would always say, you know what, work it out, you don't make this covenant before God, make sure that your marriage stay together. She never encouraged me to leave, but she was always there to support, whether it was, just listening or financial support, but she was always there. She had never turned her back. Whatever I needed, if I needed a place to stay, they got me. If I needed this financial support, they got me. My friends were the one who kept advising me to leave. But like I said to you earlier, 1,000,000 persons would say you leave a relationship. But if you haven't had enough, you will stay right there. You want the day, they wait and wait and wait and wait and wait for this man change. But it doesn't happen. Because I kept saying, it get better. And I'll tell you this, it get better after the abuse. The abuse will happen, and then you will come, speak up and say, what, I want to do it again, again, we are working it out. And then for like 2 months, you say, okay, it'll change.
It'll work, yeah.
It'll change. But then, right after that, we relapse. And I just said to him the other day, we can't be doing the same thing over and over and over again and expect different results. That's insanity. Because you are saying you are changed, so we'll leave it. We have 2 or 3 months, and then after that, you go back to the same old person. Then you never change. It was only pretending so that I can get comfortable again, so that we could do the same nonsense again.
Yes, mom.
And it was not only the abuse, because there was infidelity within the relationship too. Sure. And I couldn't say anything about it. And so many times I cried for help to his mother. I cried for help. And this lady, I want that one. And then when I decide to leave, I become the bad one. And I used to always wonder why my mom started to treat him, a certain kind of way.
Kind of weird, yeah.
It was because she found out that, and she saw with her own eyes.
Right. Smart.
So, I never nobody can't tell her. I never hear say she saw with her own eyes. I knew right before I went into labor, and I still stayed because I like, okay, I don't have a picnic for this man now. So what I do? Let her go find a next man. And I have this notion because after my dad passed away, I saw my mom with one next man, no a man. And I'm like, okay, I know I'm the kind of woman we're going for man for man for man for man. I'm like, all kind of man no go my body. I just
Yes,
have to
ma'am.
sit out, man. I just have to sit
Mm-hmm.
out. You know, maybe I get better. Like, how the baby come now, you know, it will get better. But it did not.
Man, that was whoa. That was a lot. Mother find out on one thing I have to say about that. You see, Belize is a very small place. It's big, but it's small. You get what I'm saying? So I believe our men in the society, we need to do better whenever it comes to our partners, you know? You don't want to do stuff where make your partner look or feel bad. I think I said that already, you know? We as men, we need to carry ourselves good, you know? There always got temptations, there always got other stuff there. You see, sometimes a lot of young people, Miss Williams, they try do stuff for feel like they're mature enough, you know. They persuade, you know, like bro said, other guys, they have guys will have job, they have guys we got, you know, and they try. But we as men, we need to control ourselves, we need to control our emotions and do what's right. You know, because we already have partners. Most of the working men in the society, we already have partners. You know, but again, it becomes a norm. Cheating and thing becomes a norm in the society, whereby, oh, yeah, you're not in a style if you're not a cheat, or you're not a, you know, yeah, I've been in the society before, my man, and like I said, when I'm younger, my mentality was way different than what it is now. And I'm glad that I elevate my mind, you know, I manifest my mind for move different. I was once in that shoe where I feel, hey, no, I can't have one girl, or you know, back in the days that was the mentality, but that wrong. Excuse me, that is very wrong.
On so many
And
levels, because you
yes,
don't know the psychological effect you they have for your partner.
exactly. And we don't know what other people they do out the road. You know what I mean, mommy? You are see this person, you are this person, but you don't know what a person they pan, you don't know what a person they do, you know? And just for one night time or for one night or so, and then we come home to a partner, when you look, a lot of things could happen. You know, so we want to prevent that kind of thing there. You could go through, mommy.
We have to realize that, I mean, like a sickness else, yeah. You know, maybe you the out there, they go raw. Man, not like condom. You could go raw, you don't know what the next female have and what you to bring home to your wife/spouse. You don't know what you to bring to her. And what I've learned over the years about cervical cancer, that a man carry the man pick up, you know, those that from other women will have it, and then they carry. They don't have no kind of symptoms, no nothing. But the minute you go with another woman who has cervical cancer, you pick that up and you carry it home to your spouse. And if you see it with somebody else, you carry it to another person. I never know that. And
I never know that too.
Yeah, that's the reason why health professionals, they always press women to have pap smear every year. And whenever you go into the hospital, the first thing they would start a sex verification with you and make you know, even if they're your husband, on a use protection, because you don't know what he do.
Yeah, man, just be for the safe side, man. If you want to do your thing, or a dog, or however you want to do it, just stick with one partner. You know, most of the times,
it's risky.
Very risky, especially the time that 2024. What new disease will come out soon, whereby that's how life go. So we have to be careful. Love no partner, stay with no partner, be with one person. I know a lot of people now I like hear that. A lot of people will say, oh, but look, pa, he hear the talk and then, but that was back then. How is it now to you? You know, since you guys separated, you're there by yourself fairly well now. How you cope with that? How you transition into being with somebody, living with somebody, and now there by yourself? Is it better? You feel more happier? Your mind straight. You're thinking straight now. Your mental health getting better. Like how you doing?
And I tell you, it's an easy road because I would be lying. Sometimes it does. I do get sad. I do get lonely, but I do have a peace of mind by myself here. You know, I don't have to worry that nobody to chase me, nobody to dash on my toes, nobody to try beat me, nobody to try psychologically damage me, nobody to try rape me. Because all that I gone through at home, he believed that, okay, he's the husband, and the Bible, I don't know if it's a facade or really believing in the Bible, but the man used to read the Bible. And in the Bible, it states that the wife should not deny her husband of sex.
Yes, mom.
And he believed that, oh, what he, like, okay, if you want it, you have to give me.
If he, yeah.
You'll have to spend me.
Yes.
So if you want it, you just attack it, even if I don't want.
Yeah.
I've been subjected to all of that. Physical abuse, psychological abuse, the mental breakdown, the sexual abuse, the financial abuse. All the abuse you could think about, I've went through it. Because when we separated the first time, when he got the court to take me out of the house, his financial support was not there. I had to take care of my children by myself, all three of them. And at the time I was not, I was working on a contract, and my contract up. Mind you, I have like bills to pay, internet to pay, rent to pay. All these bills they pile up. I don't have a job. I had to create my own thing. So I started to sell food from my house, and that's how I managed to pay my light, my water, my rent, my internet. Because we're still in a COVID time, so so everything that me online still.
Yes, mom.
So I needed the internet for the kids to go to school. So that me a must. Like, okay, you have to have light, you have to have internet.
Yes,
you
mom.
have to have water.
Water, correct.
These are basic necessities.
Necessities, correct.
Shelter, water, food. And I did that by myself. And now I move out from the house. The children are staying with him. And this man is suing to maintenance.
What? It's rough out there.
This man want maintenance for me. Look at that.
Yeah.
Not that I have a problem with it. I would gladly support my children.
Like I said, we went to school together, and whenever I heard about the story and somebody sent me a link, I had to reach out to you to try to get you on the show so we can, build awareness, because it really hurt me if you know that, one of my classmates, somebody where I know somebody where I used to deal with, classroom settings, sometime I go buy something for the store after Miss Miller, you eat a chip, sir, they way back in the days, but yeah,
even though I never want your cup of farm,
yeah, you know what, but it's very touching, and it's very heartbreaking if you know that, somebody where you know they go through the things there. And we want more people, if you go through things like that, we want you come out and build awareness,
Speak up.
Even though we know, speak up. Yeah, definitely speak up and don't be afraid. You know what I mean?
Terry, you know something what I have realized, what I have been doing the whole time. I was covering him and protecting him from everything and everybody. Make people see him in a different light. But he shared different narratives about me that either this bad person. So he becomes the victim and I'm the perpetrator now.
Yeah.
So everybody think that I'm the one who is initiating all of the thing. Yeah. I'm the one who is being abusive. I'm the one who's doing that. I'm the one who's doing the other. When it's the other way around.
Yeah.
He just flipped the scripts and I started to realize later on in our relationships that this man was a narcissist. And my daughter was the one who, the oldest girl was the one
Mm-hmm.
who actually said it. She was 16 at this time, and she was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Dad, you know, a narcissist." Then I started to see all the traits in him, and I was like, "Wow, you know, you go through the thing unknowing. You go through, you face all kind of problem, but you don't know what to go through. Some people they go through depression, some people go through anxiety. They stay in domestic relationship because they don't know, you know, the knowledge is not there."
What is your words to them from someone who been through it and I would say on the road to beating it or almost at the finish line to, succumb or overpass that stage of your life? So what advice would you give them, mom?
I can't say I'm fully through it as yet because I'm still going through a lot, believe it or not. I still have to
Yes,
have a
mom.
long report with this man. Um,
Yes, mom.
so I still have a long road to go, but what I would say to everybody, like the decent people abroad, learn, you know, read, understand what, you know, you get yourself into. Learn to pick up the red flags. And if not, they say knowledge is power and not true. Because I went through a lot of things because I didn't know. Mind you, we come from old school. Your parents don't share nothing with you. They don't give
Yes,
anything
mom.
with you. So
Yes, mom.
I was ignorant to the situation, you know. I lack knowledge. So I would advise anybody, you know, read, research, do your research, you know, empower yourself with knowledge, learn, and like I said, try to pick up on red flags because for me, all the red flags was normal, and I continue on in that relationship,
Yeah, become
knowing,
normal now.
yeah,
Hmm.
knowing that all this thing that happened and it did not get better, it get worse. It got worse to the point that this man physically assault me and abuse me in front of our teenage kids, in front of our child, in front of the baby. And my son is 6 years old. And I said, you know what, I need to get out of the situation because I don't want my son to grow up and think that hitting a woman or calling a female out of her name is normal. So I made that hard decision to leave, and I wanted to bring all of my children with me. However, that's not the case. He hold on to the children because he feel like, okay, if I hold on to them, the end of it, right, I want to teach you where it hurt because I know you love it, you know. If I hold on to them, it's just my best friend.
Yes, mom.
So, like I said, pick up on the red flags, pick up on all warning signs. If you see these red flags happening, seek help. Many a times men know go for help because of my ego. They're like,
Yes,
oh,
mom.
nothing wrong with me, nothing wrong with me, no, I don't need no therapy, I don't need no counseling, I don't need this, I don't need that. But if he's saying that, then you know that you need to get out because nothing, no change. So much time I try to get my husband into counseling and they're like, nothing wrong with me, nothing wrong with me. I try get marriage counseling, nothing wrong with the marriage. Like he did not see nothing wrong. It was always me that the one. So it started to look like, okay, that me that the one where they, you know, always depict things.
Yes,
So
mom.
if you would behave a certain kind of way and I just tell you, okay, make we go for counseling, you know, make you see if things have changed. And you tell me that you don't need counseling, that then you show that, okay, that me that a problem. Then I know. Like, you know? So it kind of flip
Yes,
the script on you right there. So if none of that doesn't work, get out. You're not dead by yourself. And I always think that I can't survive without my husband. But I sit down and I think about it and I say, you know what? This man may hardly be around and I still survive. So imagine if I did like completely on my own.
yes, mom.
I want to survive. It's a struggle, but I want to survive. Many women stay in domestic relationships and domestic abuse because the man not the breadwinner and they are the stay-at-home mom. Sometimes they don't see any other way out. A lot of women strong and do it by themselves, but a lot of women are not. Everybody deal with situation differently because I might stay in the relationship, the domestic abuse because I might think that I can do better. But then my friend over there, she come out, get divorced and everything, and then people say, "Oh, so why you can't be like your friend?" You see, she do this and she do that. She come out, she get out, but that not everybody mind strong. So you can't the point fingers and the judge people because that makes you worse.
This move.
Because what that person over there think, you don't have that in your thinking, You
That's
have
not.
a different mindset. That person have a different mindset. Everybody have a different mindset. So, I mean, everybody will figure out things on their own. They move on their own pace, but sure, they will move. Speak up. Let people know your truth. I'm always ashamed to talk about what I'm going to go through, but now I am not afraid to speak out because I will not protect him anymore. I will not protect because I was protecting his reputation, protecting my reputation. I wanted everybody to see him as this good person. I wanted his children to see him as this good dad. But I will no longer sit and endure all of that to just protect him. I can't because at what cost to me, that will damage me psychologically big time. And it not only damage me psychologically but financially too, because then I have to pay for therapy.
Small.
So I mean, get out before it get worse because sometimes the man not change. And if it do change, it change for 2-3 months and it go right back. And if you notice that cycle, get out and what change.
Alrighty. Well, that was the words from Miss Williams. She said it all, Like again, Miss Williams, thank you for being on the podcast. We really appreciate it. Yeah, no problem, man. We really appreciate you. We hope everybody out there, you guys take this, I would say, Miss Williams, or whatever we talked about here, as your own experience and learn from it. You know what I mean? You guys learn from it because whatever we put on the podcast on My 2 Cents is for everybody to learn from, People from Miss Williams didn't have to come on here to share her experience so you guys can be aware of what's happening. She's just putting it out there so nobody else have to go through what she gone through. You know what I mean? So nobody else don't have to go through that. So we really appreciate you, Miss Williams. And again, thank you for being on the podcast, one of the best podcasts in the world. My 2 Cents. Thanks, Miss Williams.
You're welcome. Thank you too.